What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new video. Super excited to introduce a new concept to the channel that I haven't really talked about, but I'm super excited to get into it. We're going to be talking about how to turn your Twitter page into a print-on-demand selling machine. Now, guys, don't worry. The information that you take from this series, from all the videos on this YouTube channel pertaining to Twitter, you can also apply it to other things other than just print on demand. If you're selling clothing on different sites, if you're starting a new business, basically any way to get attention, right, is the best way to build a business, especially if it's low cost. And Twitter is one of those social media places where we actually have a really open market here. A lot of times people think Twitter is just for communication, talking about what you believe, your inner thoughts, things like that. But there's actually a lot of selling that goes on Twitter. I can't scroll down, not even a couple scrolls, without seeing an ad for something to buy. And if that wasn't the case, if Twitter wasn't a good place to sell, nobody would pay for conversion-based ads. But conversion-based ads are one of the highest and most profitable selling ads on the Twitter platform. Twitter actually released a page of like their year-end review to all of the people who invest in their stock. And what they did was they showed how the money was being made. And if you guys are familiar, social media places or social media platforms like this, they give access to the platform for everybody for free. And what they do is, since they have so many users, they get to advertise to that platform. So a company like Jeep, for example, will go on the platform and put their ad up, pay 10 million, 2 million, 1 million, whatever the cost may be on Twitter. People see the ad, they click, and then they have a potential to buy whatever it is the product is, right? So that's kind of how the money gets earned for Twitter, and it's kind of like a win-win. Well, we use Twitter to get more attention. Similarly to how we use Instagram, Twitter is one of those examples where there's a lot more leeway, there's a lot more flexibility, and to me, it's really, really fun. So I'll show you guys kind of how I do things, how I set it up. This was an account I basically get started on officially today. Now, mind you, this is a demo account just so I can show you guys how things work. I made a post 3 hours ago, made a post 43 minutes ago, another post here 41 minutes ago, another post 37 minutes ago. But I want to show you guys something that's pretty interesting in Twitter. So Twitter, when you run ads, when you run advertising, right, you are allowed to target certain audiences, target certain groups. And I'll just show you guys here. If I click on this little button here, the more section, and I go over here to Twitter ads, I'm going to create like a little ad in front of you guys just so I can show you an example of an ad that I kind of want to show you the benefit of, right? So I'll show you kind of how a lot of people do grow their audiences, what they do and things like that, but I'll show you what we do instead to save money and kind of how to get things going. So first of all, I want to be clear, before we even get into the whole ads thing, we do use Twitter to make money and sell through merchandise. I actually started doing this about 2.5 years ago with a different business, a different brand. I was actually selling digital products on. And what I realized with digital products, it was a little bit harder to sell through Instagram. So I said, why don't I give it a shot on Twitter? And Twitter kind of worked out well for me. Now, it took me a few tries. It actually took me about 6 weeks to get really going on it and get some good results, but it started to help. I was making, in the beginning, I would say the first week I made 2 sales. This was a digital product. It was an ebook that was $37. For some people would say not bad, some people would say good, some people would say not that much. Just depends. But by the 6th week, I was selling about 2 or 3 ebooks a day. So just to give you guys kind of an idea of how much you can sell through Twitter, and it effectively costs you nothing. So I'll show you kind of what I do and how I set things up. But more importantly, I want to show you a little kind of interesting thing that I kind of use for Twitter. So if you go over here to the advertising, and don't worry, you're not going to set up an ad. I just kind of want to show you something that's pretty cool. I can go over here to campaign. I could go to the ads manager, which is essentially my dashboard, and I can go over here and hit create campaign. I'm just going to create simple campaign right here, and I just want to show you guys something pretty clever. So let's go ahead and click on any one of these. Let's click on website traffic. Let's add random text. Let's skip the media just because I want to show you guys something pretty important here. And if you look here, what we're doing is we're going into the section now where we can control the delivery of that ad. Maybe I do have to add some media. Yeah, okay, so I have to add at least one image. Let me go ahead and select this image, and we'll go on to the next section. I have to include a headline or a link. Let's just go to Redbubble. Let's just add a random Redbubble link. Let's go in here. Let's just click on this. And I apologize for a second, guys. Just kind of bear with me here. Okay. So I got a link here. I'm going to go over here to the ad section and paste this. Okay. Just so you guys can kind of see where I'm going with this. And what is it? Okay. I have to include a headline. That's a headline. All right. Random text. Okay. Finally. So now I can actually choose the delivery of the ad. When you choose the delivery of the ad, you get to select who you want to target, essentially. Now, the thing about this, guys, is when you're creating an ad for Twitter, you can do some pretty cool stuff. Let me go ahead and refresh this because this is taking a while. Okay, let me, guys, show you this. First, you set your budget. So let's say my budget is 1,000 something. Let's go over here. Let's scroll down. And let's go over here to targeting. So I want to show you guys this. When you're on targeting, there's a few things that you could target, right? You could target keywords, but then you could also target follower lookalikes. Now, what is a follower lookalike? Well, a follower lookalike, and it explains it right here. I'll just read it to you guys. It says, reach people with similar interests to an account's followers. Similarity is based on things like tweets, retweets, clicks, and more. Well, that's actually pretty interesting. Really what this is, follower lookalikes, is I can type anybody's name here. Like, for example, I could type in LeBron James, and I could select his account. Now, if you look at LeBron James, once I make this selection, I have a market size to that account. And I'll just do this again, right? LeBron James, and you can see here, the global audience is 79.8 million of a global audience. Well, if I head back here to the Twitter and I just perform a search for LeBron James and I click on his account, you can see here there's 51.8 million, right? So this 70 something million global audience, or 79 million, these are the people that have some sort of engagement or attraction, whether it be an impression, whether it be a click, whether it be a like, to LeBron James. This includes his followers. This includes the people that like his tweets. Sometimes even includes the people that see his tweets and don't engage. Well, what does this actually mean? That means I can pay Twitter, a cost $1,000, $5,000, $20,000 to target his specific audience. Well, let's think logically. Why would somebody want to do that? Well, that means that person or that account that they're targeting is either A, a competitor, B, a similar account, or C, somebody that you know they're following can be profit to yours because you're in the same niche, which is really exactly what we do. But the whole thing is we don't pay for ads. We go straight to the gamut. We go straight to where the money is made. Instead of paying for ads and paying lots and lots of money, I'll just simply go over here and I'll see one of the tweets he made, right? Like that's basketball related or something that would make me money, right? And let's just say I want to sell, for example, some sort of, let's see a picture here that's something related to, okay. So you see this jersey right here, Drew League number 6, and you see LeBron in it. It's fair to say that these 451,000 people who liked this post, right, who liked this post of LeBron James, if there was a link for them to buy this jersey, some people would buy it. I'm not saying all people would buy it, but some people would, right? Some people would buy the jersey. Well, let's just say I had a jersey business where I create jerseys kind of like this. Well, what I could do is I can target his exact fan base that engages with him through advertising and pay money per click, per impression, or I could simply do it myself. Now, some people would say, well, why would you pay? How much does it cost to pay for ads? Well, we can actually see here, if we go over here to the ads section, I'm actually running a small little ad right now, and you could see here, for just 2 clicks, I paid 90 cents. Okay, so that's about 45 cents per click or 40 cents per click, depending on. Oh, it's actually, to be honest, it is 40 cents per click. It's not 45 cents a click. I spent 10 cents earlier on something else, so it is about 40 cents a click. Now, I'm running this ad because I want you guys to think logically about what that means. That means a click for the link. I'm running a certain ad right now that is a campaign. When somebody clicks on a specific link, that will be considered what I pay for, right? In the same notion, my goal with Twitter is to gain as many followers as possible. That's my goal. Because something that makes Twitter really, really special is the engagement rate. I can make a post and there will be a lot of people that see that post compared to the number of followers that I have. Not like Instagram, where I make a post and such a small percentage of my followers see the post. So what I could do here with Twitter is I can go straight to the people that liked this exact post, and I can interact with the people that like the post. Because what that means is, let's say I'm selling jerseys, and I make it very clear on my profile that I do, and you do have to set up your profile a particular way, I can engage with these people because that might give me the chance to assume that I'm targeting an audience that might happen to be interested in what I'm selling. Now, obviously, there's different niches, different categories, and different people and different accounts that you can target that will change your results definitely. However, it's a good place to start somewhere. So what I do is I use my little tool here called the Bots and Apps Twitter tool. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on, and it's going to refresh the page. And I'm going to set it to do, let's just say, from 1 to 15 seconds, I want it to perform a follow. But in total, let's just say I want it to perform 30 follows, okay? And I already did 60 follows today, but I'll just show you guys this anyway. And what I'll do is just go ahead and click follow users. I'm engaging right now. I'm following the people who have followed LeBron James, guys, and liked and engaged with his specific post of him with the picture with the jersey on. Does that make sense? Essentially, what I'm doing is I'm engaging with people that I know that could potentially be interested in what I'm offering. Now, the whole point to this is there has to be a correlation between the content that I have on my profile, also to the content that he is posting and the people who are engaging. The whole point here is that I want to engage with people who are genuinely interested in what I have to offer. It's the same concept with the ads that I just showed you. If I target that specific celebrity or influencer through Instagram, through Twitter, and I pay Twitter to target these exact people, well, I'm engaging with these people at a fraction of the cost. And let's just go ahead and figure out what that fraction actually is. So if I go over here to botsandapps.gumroad.com while it's doing some following for me, I can see here that there are different tools. Just with the follow and the unfollow, it costs $19.99 a month. That's $20. $20 is significantly cheaper than paying thousands and thousands of dollars for the exact ad that I would have spent. That's what makes this very, very powerful. Now, the tool already followed 11 people. I know this because it says here in the top left-hand corner of my little browser, it says followed 11. I'm just going to go ahead and stop it because this is actually not my audience. And I just use this as an example so I can show you what I'm talking about. But if we go over here to my profile, you can kind of understand what I'm talking about a little more. Is a long time ago, in the beginning of this year, I created a Redbubble store to show people essentially how to set Redbubble up. And I showed them what I did with Instagram and how I made sales literally that minute, or not that minute, but that day, promoting that store on Instagram and how I made sales through Instagram. And I actually have a video on how I made a sale within 24 hours. It was actually within 18 hours, but how I made a sale within 24 hours on Redbubble.com through Instagram. And what I did was I used that account as a demo account, if you will. I showed everybody what designs that were on the account. I showed what was going on in the account, everything like that. And something I didn't really know, but it ended up happening. Every single design that I pretty much created, the whole account, the Instagram strategy, everything that I did got severely ripped off. Like, I got so many copycats, it's not even funny. So I figured, why would I keep putting my energy into a store that's being ripped off, copycatted, because obviously I showed it publicly in the internet, and why don't I just invest my time on other stores? So basically, if you look here, if we click on this store link, you could see it's going to take us straight to Redbubble. This was, at one point, a store that I used, and I actually showed through the demos how to set it up. And after using this, like I said, there were tons of copycats or tons of things like that. So from now on, I just use this store as a demo account to show people how to set things up. You know, essentially use it for YouTube, basically. Something that I could show to the public instead of just talking without depicting and visually showing, right? So essentially what I have here is a Christian, motivational, inspirational type quotes, just like a mix of a bunch of different things. But if we go over here, every single product on this page is Christian related, which is why LeBron James wouldn't be a good example of somebody to target for my account. But you kind of get the point, because I just wanted to press the point home. And once again, it's very, very important that you remember what I showed you through the ads. The ads, if you saw, like I said, we have the chance to go through Twitter ads and pay them to do exactly what we're doing now, which is engaging with people who engage with that specific person. So I can target this person's, Joel Osteen's, 10.2 million followers. I can target them. I can engage with them. And I can actually target the people that are active and the people that are receptive to Joel Osteen, which signals to me that they're going to be receptive to me also. Joel Osteen is a preacher, okay? I can go to the people that liked his post, right? Click on the likes, and now I have a list of people, normal people like me and you, that I can engage with. Right? These are people that buy into the message of what Joel Osteen is spreading. And his message is Christianity, believe in God, all these kind of things. If I'm selling Christian phone cases, it's probably a good market for me to target. Now, this is what I call a tier 2 market. A tier 2 market has a broad range of people who are interested in a general niche. And that general niche in this case is Christianity, right? But Tier 1 is probably the best circumstance, and it's really, really hard to find Tier 1 here on Twitter. That's really more for Instagram, but for here on Twitter, Tier 1 is harder to find, but you are going to be the person that's creating a Tier 1 account. Now, what Tier 1 account means is that it's more specific niche, and it has a longer tail to it. Let me explain. So Joel Osteen is a preacher who talks about God, talks about Christianity, all these things, right? Now, I don't watch Joel Osteen, but I'm just giving you an example. That's a tier 2 level. You have people from all walks of life with different passions, with different interests that engage with Joel Osteen. They watch his content, they like his work, all this kind of stuff. In my case, mine is tier 1. My account is tier 1 because it combines two different niches together. It takes the people who are looking for iPhone cases, and it takes the Christians, and it mixes them together by selling them Christian iPhone cases in different designs and different looks, etc. It's fair to say that the lower in the tiers that you go, the more general that you go, the more fans, the more followers that you'll make. But it's also fair to say that the more tiers you go up. So if you're more tier 2 or tier 1, more money you'll make as opposed to like something like tier 3. Now, tier 3 is where you're going to have really, really general stuff, where it's just like a very general category, like memes, for example. Memes, anybody can look at a meme, laugh at it, follow the account, and move on. But it's not really going to generate that much income. Something a little bit more specific, like a tier 2 or tier 1 account, can generate more income. So you want to be aware of that. So just to wrap up this video, what I do is I'm using a tool to grow my audience on Twitter. Now, this is a brand new account. Like I said, for demos, I don't want to show the things that I actually do business on because at the end of the day, it will hurt my bottom dollar. Same thing what happened with the store here on Redbubble. When I showed it, people were starting to abuse it, copy things, the exact methods that I was using, everything that I was doing, pixel for pixel, copycats, everything like that. And for me, like I said, it's not worth it for me to show something that I'm actually producing daily income on. Now, this store did actually very, very well. I think I reported a income sales report after 30 days, and I've showed that. But I'm going to keep the same methods here on this Twitter account where I show that same demo account because, like I said, I don't want to show the actual businesses that I'm running day to day. It's just a risk for me. I hope you guys can understand. But with that being said, for everything that I'm doing, this is a method that not only saves money, but brings in attention, brings more clicks, brings more views to the products that we're selling. Now, it's important to recognize that this profile is going to be your sales hub. It's a place where you're going to do all your selling, and it's important to realize that you're in it for the long game with Twitter. Twitter is a lot less likely to ban you or block you, and they're a lot less strict, and also you're allowed to have more accounts on Twitter, less friction, less issues through Twitter, and mostly on top of that, it's a great place to sell because each post I make can have its own link. Whether you're viewing on a cell phone, whether you're viewing on a desktop, all the links are clickable. So if I want to buy something, I could easily click the link and purchase it, right? Which makes Twitter more ideal for selling. And that's just, kind of the way I see things. But you can see here we're already getting some engagement. But that's really not the focus right now because the first 2 weeks of the Twitter game is just a matter of priming the account. And we'll talk more about that now. It's just hard to really fit everything in one video. But know that there is a way that you can make money off of Twitter. If you want to get a head start, you can go over to botsandapps.gumroad.com, get any of the Twitter tools that you find that you might, use. Here is botsandapps.com. You have the follow, unfollow, like, comment, follow, unfollow, like. It just depends on how much of a budget you're on and how much you could spend. You have the follow, unfollow, like, and comment. So this is essentially 4 tools into one. You could see here each tool is about $10 or $9.99 for the month. So you can do as many comments as you want for $9.99, as many likes as you want for $9.99, follows, unfollows, likes, and comments for $35.99. So you're getting a little bit of a discount. You could do follow, unfollow for $19.99. For me personally, guys, for my virtual assistants, I go with the follow, unfollow, and like. But also, the comments are very, very effective. There are certain virtual assistants that I have where I'll sign them up only to the comment, and there are actually 2 virtual assistants that I have that do that. And then the rest of my virtual assistants, I have this one on. Ideally, I should have all of them on this tool, but I haven't taught the ones that do the follow, unfollow, like, how to do the commenting properly yet. So I just haven't got around to it. That's why I have them on different tools. But at the end of the day, it's really a huge bargain to spend, let's just say $35.99 a month if you're getting all 4 tools, $10 a month if you're getting one of the tools, or even $20 a month, right? $25 a month to use these tools as opposed to paying literally thousands of dollars through ads. It's a huge difference. If I want to interact with, let's say, 1,000 people, you saw what the cost was just on that example of an ad. So my cost for that ad, I'll just go ahead and show you guys, was about 40 cents a click, right? If I have 1,000 people that I engage with, those 1,000 times the 40 cents, right? I'm going to be paying $400 for it. Just 1,000 people. With the tool, I can do that in a matter of a couple days, maybe 3-4 days. I can engage with 1,000 people. You get what I'm trying to say? The cool thing with Twitter is that you can do up to 400 follows a day on Twitter, right? Instagram is a little bit different, but with Twitter, you could do 400 follows a day. If I was doing 400 follows a day, right, just with, or 400 clicks, let's say, because that's kind of like, advertising lingo, CPMs, CPCs, 400 times the 0.40, 40 cents, that would be $160 a day with ads. $160 a day times 30 for the month. That's $4,800. So a tool like this that you're spending, let's just say the most expensive one, $35.99, you can engage with $4,800 worth of engagements for the month and still save, I don't know, what's 4,800 minus 35.99? It's a lot of money. 4,764. You're basically saving a whole load of money, almost $5,000, right? You're doing pretty well. 4,700 something is what you're saving by using the tool every day, which is a significant discount as opposed to paying for ads. And there's a lot of people who end up paying for ads and they don't make it work, right? at least if you can't make something like this work, and trust me, everybody can. It's just a matter of using it. If you don't, so what? You're out what, 19 bucks, 20 bucks, 30 bucks, 40 bucks. But if you're out through ads, 4 or 5 grand, that's a huge difference. There's some people that don't even make that a month, 2 months, 3 months. There's a lot of people who are watching this who probably don't even have jobs. Let's be honest. So the cheaper it is, the better. And I'm always the type of guy where I don't want to spend crazy amounts of money to promote something, if that makes sense. Like, I'm always the guy who's looking for the best way out, the cheapest way out. So, I know I could make a lot of content about this, and I probably will in the future, but this is just a little introduction to the whole Twitter fiasco using print on demand. You could do this with any website. You could do this with merch by Amazon. You could do this with Redbubble, with TeePublic. I mean, you name it, you can do it. It's just a matter of setting up your profile the right way and finding the right targets. All right, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. If you have questions, leave them in the description, in the comment box, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right, peace out, bye.